50,000 subs! Yeah, so 50,000 subs. That really is the most disappointing party blower ever. I even had to get the Finding Nemo one because, well, it's the only one that they had that wasn't like full of princesses. Probably should have gotten the princess ones. Maybe they worked better. 50,000 subs! I made a community post yesterday asking for questions that you had about the channel that I'll answer in this video. Now, I'm actually going to start off by answering a couple of questions that people ask on videos a lot, and I feel like I need some kind of reference for it somewhere, at least. Now, a very common question and just kind of a point of confusion is around my name. Now, my name is actually Dawid. And I know that makes it quite difficult for people to like refer to me, but it's Dawid. Now it's basically David, just in a different language. It is a common name. It's a name that many people in Southern Africa have. I didn't make it up. And that brings me to the second most asked question, and that's, am I from South Africa? I'm not technically from South Africa. I was born and raised in Namibia, which is like South Africa adjacent. However, I did live in Cape Town for 4 years. I studied there. It's a really awesome city. If you're looking for a place to go, I would highly recommend it. One thing that I would just say is be careful of the baboons at Cape Point. It's an amazing tourist destination, but those baboons are hella smart. They're gonna open your car door, they're gonna get in your car and convince your kids of Stalinist philosophies. And with that, let's head over to your questions on the community post. Find it pretty crazy that there are actually questions here. I thought I was being a bit a bit presumptuous making this community post. But anyway, the first question is from Peter Bloom, and he asks, do you have a job outside of YouTube? If so, what do you do? I don't actually have a job outside of YouTube. YouTube is what I do full time. I've been doing it full time for about 4 or 5 months now, and for the 2 years of YouTube before that, I was actually an English teacher. It was while I was living in Japan. I was teaching little kids English there. It was really fun. The kids were super cute and super naughty, like hella naughty. Anyway, now let's move on to the next question by Victor G. Johnson? Like, I'm not sure if I should pronounce it the Afrikaans way. But your question is, how did you start on YouTube? From the thought process to the practical setup. That's actually a really good question that I can talk about probably for a very long time, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try and keep it concise. When it comes to the actual thought process, I've wanted to start a YouTube channel for a very long time. I mean, I've been watching tech YouTube since I was in primary school, pretty much. Like, I remember watching those first Linus Tech Tips videos where he like unboxed 17 motherboards a day. Those like really terrible videos that I love them so much. So I've always wanted to start a tech channel because I love PC hardware and I love making videos and stuff like that. From a practical standpoint, I started the channel when I first moved to Japan because that was the first like proper job that had an income that I had, so I could actually like buy like PC components and gear for videos and stuff like that. But the next question is by Avox7 Gaming. I think that's how you pronounce your name. You said here, how can you have this little subscribers even though you're like the second best tech channel I watch? So that's the first part of the question. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you to say. It's a bit of a cruel question though. I don't know why I don't have more subscribers. Like, if I had control over it, I'd just give myself 10 million subs. Like, I mean, you know, but answering the question in like a less stupid way, it just takes time to grow a channel, you know? It's the kind of thing that doesn't happen overnight. So hopefully the channel keeps growing in the way that it has. I've been very lucky to have like a lot of growth this year, and I really appreciate it. And hopefully it carries on, and then maybe the channel will kind of, yeah, maybe the channel will get to a size that you feel is more appropriate. And then the next part of the question is also, who do you think will come to 10 million subscribers first? MKBHD or Linus Tech Tips, and why? That is a very good question. MKBHD, hands down. He's way closer to the goal anyway. Like, I think he's gonna get there quite a bit before Linus Tech Tips. As for why, he looks mostly at like cell phones and, you know, more like just general consumer tech, right? So I think that his channel has more like broad appeal than Linus Tech Tips does, because like Linus does phone reviews and stuff like that as well. But, you know, if you don't at least have a slight interest in like PC gaming and PC hardware, like, you're not as likely to subscribe to his channel. And I can't wait to see what he's gonna make Linus do. Like, what the punishment is gonna be for losing. So the next question is by Chris W, and he asks, how much money have you spent on shady hardware, i.e. video cards from Wish/Alibaba? I actually, now the video is gonna come out maybe next week, maybe the week after that, depending on when I get it. I actually spent way too much money recently on Alibaba. There's a very exciting graphics card coming, and I can't wait for it. It's definitely not shady, like I'm pretty sure it's a legit graphics card, but it's gonna be, I can't wait for that graphics card. You can kind of guess what you think it may be in the comment section below. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. The next question is from Coalition Gaming! That's so exciting, it's nice to see you here. I really enjoy your channel, and you know, your stream as well is really nice, so it's awesome to see you here. If you don't know Coalition Gaming and you're watching this video, go check out his channel. I'll have it linked in the description below. He makes really awesome content. But so he asked, how did the grind feel before things started to take off? Any advice for demoralized tech YouTubers whom the YouTube algorithm seems to ignore, beyond just keep grinding? Oh, we've got an Echo-chan here. Hey, buddy. Oh, that was such a flinch. There are two things that I do to deal with like a dip in views. Recently, there was about a month period where it seemed like I was allotted like 1,500 views per video. Like it really was. Every video I posted got 1,500 views. And the best way that I can deal with that kind of thing is to remove myself from the analytics completely. So I'll post the video and then not look at how it does. Because every time that you have that feeling of pride and excitement about a new video and you check back after like 2 hours and you know it doesn't have as many views as you thought it would have, it's really tough, especially when it's that soon after you uploaded the video. So what I'd do is I'd upload like the 3 or so videos that I upload in a week, and then I'd choose a day that I'd go back and look at how the videos of that week did. So instead of having like 3 kind of like big disappointments over the week, you have like, you have just one, right? So it kind of like isolates it. And then when it comes to how I actually interact with like making content during that period, what I usually do is I try and not look at it as, you know, why is the algorithm not pushing my content? Because there isn't much control that we have over the algorithm. So what I usually do with that is I go back and watch the video after I've posted it. And I think to myself, what did I do to make people not want to watch this content? Like, do I ramble in bits? Do I not show enough B-roll? Is the topic sentence not, you know, is it not interesting enough? So I try and better all of the parts that I have control over, and then other than that, I just kind of like try and ignore it as much as possible. I hope this advice helps you. But the second part of the question I really enjoy, which is, oh wait, I just need to go back down to it, is, and finally, would you rather have the ability to fly but slowly, or have a flying car that can fly fast? Oh, like how dope is the car? I know that seems like a stupid question, but like, is it like a really sick car? Is it like, you know, like a 911 turbo that can also fly? Or is it like a 1994 Toyota Camry that can fly really quickly? Like, I feel like that's quite an important point to clarify. If it's like a terrible car, I definitely go with the ability to just personally fly. But if it's like a really awesome car that also like drives well and stuff, I'd have a fast flying car. So Maxwell Smart asks, when you hit 50k, I'm eyeballing a nice graphics card to get you for your collection. It's called a GTX 710, and it's all the rage over at Amazon, and the kids can't stop talking about it. Let me know if you already have one, because I could try and get you a 720 or a 721, whatever it takes. Well, I mean, like, I wouldn't mind starting a GT 710 collection. I currently have like the passive MSI one, so if you want to send like a GT 720, I wouldn't mind to kind of compare them head to head. Good question. The next one is by Shazam17, and he asks, are you human or bot? I mean, I'm clearly a bot, right? Like, this is definitely AI procedurally generated. The next question is by Jono the Squid. You have a really awesome profile picture, by the way. But your question is, how long have you been into PC building? And good job on the 50k. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've been into PC building as long as I can remember. Like, as a little kid, I really loved PCs. My brother was really into computers, and because we grew up in Namibia, like, Namibia doesn't really have like tech assist things, right? So like in America, if your PC breaks, you like call a number and like someone explains to you how to fix it. Whereas like in Namibia, unless you took it to a technician who most likely didn't know what they were doing themselves, you kind of had to figure out how to fix your own PCs and, you know, what to buy and what to build and so on. So I think that was a big kind of factor in making both my brother and I like build computers and learn about how to fix them and things like that. The next question is by Short Eagle, who asks, did you do college or university? And if so, what did you study? Were you good at school? And what are your favorite subjects? Also, congrats on the 50K. Again, thank you very much. I still can't believe 50,000 people are subscribed. I went to university. I studied in Cape Town at the University of Cape Town. I did one of the more useless degrees ever. I did politics and philosophy. So I just have like a bachelor's degree in that. It's like an undergraduate degree. Was I good at school? No, like at school, like primary school and high school, I was really bad at school. I test quite badly because one of my problems is that I understand the content really quickly, but then I just go like, well, I know this. Like, there's no need, I don't need to study for this. Like, I know what all this stuff is and I understand it. And then I don't like internalize it because I don't study it enough. And then I get to the test and I just panic and then like do badly. And then as far as what my favorite subject was at school, it was probably history because we had a really awesome history teacher. I think she actually occasionally watches some of my videos. So if you're watching, Mrs. Jenkins, hello. I'm sorry I was such a little shit. The next question is by Tatsiki, who asks, was it hard to come up with the video ideas at the start of the channel? I think if anything, Tatsiki, it was easier at the beginning because, you know, when you have a really small channel, there's not really any pressure. Like it doesn't really matter what content you make because no one's gonna watch it anyway, if that makes any sense. The next question is by King Gaming, who asks, what was your most favorite video to make since you started your channel? I think my favorite one of all time is probably the 5 ways to enter the BIOS video, because that video was just such a ridiculous, like I really enjoyed making that video because I like powered it out in an afternoon and all the jokes were so lame and it was just, I really enjoyed that video. I'll have it linked in the description if you want to go check it out. It's so stupid. The next question is by Will L. Do you remember when Celerons were unlocked and you could overclock them to Pentium levels of performance? Yes, there was a time when Intel actually brought really good value. Congrats, by the way. Thank you very much. The thing is, I remember the days when Intel CPUs overclocked like crazy. I had an E6300, which is one of the first Core 2 Duo CPUs, which it was a dual core CPU that its base clock was 1.8 gigahertz. But you could overclock it to like 3.4, 3.5 gigahertz and it would match like the Extreme Edition Core 2 Duo CPUs. And that was amazing. Like, I love that CPU. The next question is by Bichali Teodora. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And your comment is 49.9 thousand. Yes, I know, I posted it prematurely so that I could get questions for this video, okay? It's at 50,000 now. The next question is by Eagle Pancake, who asks, how much were you prepared when you started your channel, as in production, studio quality, and so on? I was actually not super prepared. Like, I had a DSLR, I had a Nikon D5500 that I bought like a year before. That camera had pretty good video quality, but it had no video assist features at all. So it was a really difficult camera to make videos with because you had to really learn how to operate a camera and how to expose properly. So I had that camera and then I had like an audio recorder. I think it was the Zoom H1. So gear-wise, that was pretty much all I had. And then I had like PC components for a PC, like a gaming PC for Anna, actually. So yeah, I wasn't particularly prepared. So the next comment is by Gaming and Techil, Tech-IL, I think. What advice do you have to new tech channels like me and others? So I think a lot of what I said to Coalition Gaming earlier kind of applies to that. The main advice that I have is don't give up. Like, it takes a long time to build a tech channel. Like, it took me 4 videos, I think, to get my first subscriber. And then after oh, Neko-chan, hey buddy. And then after my first subscriber, it took another 2 weeks to get a second sub. So you really just need to power ahead through those periods where you post a bunch of content and very few people watch. And yeah, like I was saying to Coalition Gaming, like for me, my main thing that I was doing the whole time was try and do better at all of the aspects that I have control over, right? Because the algorithm is this like mystical thing where, you know, the actual quality of your videos is something you have direct control over. So I spend a lot of time watching YouTube channels, watching YouTube videos about how to make better videos, how to use cameras better, how to light your subject, how to get better audio, how to like edit a video in a way that makes it more entertaining. So yeah, that's something that I'd really recommend, is try and spend as much time as you can on the things that you have control over, which is making the best content that you can possibly make. The final bit of advice that I'd give is don't listen too much to the advice that other people give you, because like no one really knows what they're doing. The next question is by NB, which says, "You deserve it!" Exclamation mark, smiley face. Thank you. That's really kind. I really appreciate that. The next question is by Monkey94NL, who asks, "Do you have any pets?" Yeah, I think I have pets. Nika-chan. Are you planning on doing any collaborations with other tech YouTubers? If so, what type of collaborations are you planning to do? I mean, I'm always down for collaborations. Like, I really like the idea of making content with other YouTubers. I haven't done many. Like, I've done collaborations with Major Hardware. It wasn't like a direct collaboration, but we like made videos about a similar topic, trying to make like a better way to cool PCs. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Other than that, like what kind of collaborations I'd like to do, I have a friend with a channel in Brazil called Omnia Tech, who actually had a really good idea for a collaboration about like sending random components to like each other, and then we have to like do a video on the component, but we don't know what it is. So I really like that idea. I'm actually going to reach out to him again, and you know, maybe we can do that with a bunch of channels. I think that would be really exciting. The next question is by Sir Goldilocks, that asks, "Was your family supportive of you starting a YouTube channel?" So in the beginning, I was really secretive about my YouTube channel, because it's not that I was embarrassed of it. I just felt that like, you know, I didn't want to like bring too much attention to my YouTube channel. It actually took ages for my like family to find out about it, and when they did, they were all really excited. Like my mom is really supportive about it. She always messages me when I hit like subscriber goals and is like super excited about it and like asks me a bunch of questions. My brother is as well. Like he watches and comments on most of the videos. So I'm gonna do 2 more questions and then I'm gonna end the topic here, because I think it's gonna get super long. If I didn't answer your questions, I'm really sorry about that. But thank you very much for asking it. There's actually a bunch of them that I may end up missing here. The next one that we have here is by Godly Boss Hog, that asks, "Where do you get / who does the music for your channel?" I should actually, I spoke about this quite a bit when I started out with this, but I use Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is really awesome. You pay, I think it's like $5 or $6 a month, so you do have to pay for it. And then you have like unlimited access to all of the music that they have on their page, which is a huge amount, and they have a big variety of very well produced music. And you can use as many of the songs as you want per video, and there's no copyright issues. Like I've used them for the last like 70 videos and I've never had a copyright issue at all. So we've got another question by Rohan Vij, who asks, "Will you have a Q&A at 69k subs?" Well, there's something's happening at 69k subs. I mean, that's the next like a big milestone, right? Is 69. Doesn't YouTube send you a plaque at 69,000 subs? And then the final question is by Omega Pro, who asks, "Will streaming become more frequent? And what's the biggest difference that you feel from each platform? And how do you manage both? Congrats on 50k." Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'll try and stream more. The thing is, like, I spend a lot of time on my YouTube videos, and I don't want to like burn out, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. So I'll start like kind of streaming randomly through the week, because I really enjoy it. I think it's really fun. So yeah, it will become more frequent. What's the biggest difference? The biggest difference between the two is that like YouTube is a lot more effort. It takes me a really long time to make my videos, and I spend a lot of time editing it and filming it and stuff like that. Whereas with Twitch, you can kind of just like sit down and stream. There's less preparation involved, which is obvious from like how bad my stream always is. And with that, it brings me to the end of this Q&A. I can't begin to explain how excited I am about 50,000 subs, and you know, I can't wait for the next milestones. I really appreciate like all of the support on the channel. Everyone's always like really nice in the comment sections and things like that, and yeah, like I really appreciate it, and I really enjoy doing this. Yeah, so until the next video, thank you for watching. You can follow me on Twitch as well. I'll have the videos that I spoke about over the course of this video linked in the description below. And yeah, feel free to ask me any more questions in the comment section of this video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.